Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. This is another kind of like let's play kind of thing. If you've known me for a while, you know that I struggle with abstract art. I don't grasp it. My brain just does not process it that way. And I really, really want to learn how to do it. So I've been reading books. I've been watching videos. I've been studying so much. I've been looking at old abstract artists like Picasso and whatnot. And Jackson Pollock. This is what I came up with when I started to learn, like, okay, I'm going to start with marbling. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm using the plaid multi-surface Look at Me Blue, also Clover, also Folk Art multi-surface Lavender. And what other colors did I use? I used Wedding Cake, which was Martha Stewart. I used the what was you you were Apple Red and School Bus, was it School Bus Yellow? No, Medium Yellow. And then I used the Martha Stewart marbling stuff. I can't think of the name, products. I can't, oh my god, my brain. And you just mix it 2 to 1, and I mixed it in these little medicine cups I got from the dollar store. And I'm just using a wood panel, but of course you can use whatever you have. And for some reason I lost when I marbled. I don't know what exactly happened, but I did. And now I'm going in and just, all I did was I put it on the wood, and I kind of like picked up the wood and turned it this way and that. And if you want a better tutorial on that, let me know. For this, I just was playing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't really making a video to necessarily give you a tutorial on this. I just was recording me doing it. Some of you guys like this, and I'm only doing the voiceover because it turned out, I mean, this was like an hour and a half. Well, most of me playing around, you can see me lifting it and just moving everything around. Yeah, because it makes it fluid, the marbling medium. Whatchamacallit. So yeah, so, I just thought I would just do the voiceover and kind of quicken it up a little bit, but still explain kind of what I'm doing. So now that I have like the marbling on there, you can see I took some texture items and kind of pulled it through, and just really played around, you know what I mean? Till I kind of got this kind of abstracty kind of looking thing. Um, and so, I was really, you could have left it like that. I mean, you didn't necessarily have to do what I'm going to do next, but like I said, I've been watching so much and I want to try different things. And this is the first thing I'm trying. I'm going to keep it because you'll see it at the end, but because although I wasn't exactly thrilled with how I finished it, there's so much I love about it. And as anything, when do a project or something like that, especially learning something new, you always look at it and think, oh, next time I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So I have a lot of that going on. But I'm digging the marbling, and like I said, uh, the way it came out was really, really cool. And this made it a little bit easier for me. Next time I'll probably not do the, okay, now it's dry. Probably won't do the, I don't know, because it looks kind of busy there, but when you see it done, it's not. I don't know. I'm still learning so much. But anyway, I'm taking licorice, and I want to add some black on here for some contrast. And so what I'm going to do is go pick out areas, which I'm kind of showing you. But again, I was talking and, it's hard to explain. And I just went on, like, I really have learned, and it's really, really hard. You can't think too much when doing this kind of stuff, because if you try to be too calculated, which I've tried in the past, it does not work out because I'm always picking like, oh, I love this, I love that. So I kind of picked areas that I liked, and you can see I took, I kind of marked it off a little bit with the black, and that's kind of where I'm going to stick. So I took lavender. I think I took a darker purple. I'm not quite sure. And I took, my favorite color in the world right now is bright pink multi-surface. And I have to get more of that because that is, oh, it's everything. Everything, everything. Now I have my old coloring brush, and I have that darker purple on it, and I'm putting it on a brush, and I went and, excuse me, I'm trying to move. Okay, and I'm just brushing it on everywhere. I'm not thinking too much. I'm just kind of brushing it on. It is a very, they say it's very freeing. For me, it's very anxiety ridden. My heart's going. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I look at it, I'm like, okay, it's a, it's a mixed media background. And then the other part of me is like, no, girl, it's not, you know, because I don't think too much when I do a mixed media background. I know I'm not very calculated. Now I'm just taking a sponge, and it gives such great texture. This is an old makeup brush that I got from the dollar store, and it is my favorite thing lately because I can do circles on the other end, and I can use this. And I've been using it a lot. And then, I mean, the brushes are so soft, and then I kind of leave like the paint dry on it, so it makes it a little like have more texture. But if you don't want that, you can just kind of brush it off. Oh gosh, it's everything. Lighting screwed up because the light comes in, the sun goes out. So now you can see I'm trying to fix it because I'm like, why? You can't really see how good it looks. You know how it goes. Yeah, so you can see, how it's kind of, right, now I'm taking that pink and I'm adding more, and I'm going over things because the pink's kind of transparent, and so you can still see some texture and stuff coming through, but you still get that color. Oh, I could have put the whole pink all over the whole thing. And I'm showing you like, and then if you add a little bit of white, it becomes a little bit more opaque. You see, and yeah, so just two different ways to play with it if you use it regular or you add a little bit of, white to it. Titanium white. But I'm into the transparent lately. I don't know why. So now I am grabbing the, I think it's Ocean Blue. It is Gecko, which is one of my favorites from Ceramcoat. You guys know I use that all the time. And then it's the light green called from Folk Art, Faded Jade, which I love. Oh, the blue is called, I'm sorry. It is called, no, that's not patina. Huh. I had it sitting here. Yeah, Tanzanite is the other purple I use from Folk Art. I'm watching this thing cleaning up. There goes some Gecko, and here goes here what we're doing. I'm adding a little bit of white to it. The wedding first it was gesso. I added some white gesso to it because I really wanted it to cover well, which I realized at the end, you'll see I just started adding white to it because it didn't really matter. And now I'm just going in and picking areas that I like, which I'm kind of telling you there, and I'm just doing shapes. Now, mind you, this is a hard thing because I love it all. And, it really does become hard to decide. That's what she said. So I just keep turning it. That's another thing that I learned. And I'm going to use this actually for my mixed media as well, which I do sometimes. I do turn it to look at different things. But when you're doing abstract, which I'd never even thought of, they just keep telling you to turn and turn and turn. So you see from different angles and different ways. And so that's kind of what I started doing. And it works well. Now I'm covering in the different parts that I don't want to show because I want some of that to break up all that confusion. As you can see. And I just keep painting and looking and, and it's hard to turn my brain off. It's hard to turn it off because I just keep looking and I'm like, oh, but I love this part, but I can't keep it. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe I will in the next one. But, we'll see. I don't know. And then I didn't like that black there. So I'm like, I'm just going to put that little squiggles on there. Yeah. And then I'm just going to let it dry. I'm telling you that I love that Gecko. It is one of my favorites. All right, so now here we are dry. So now can you see? Now I put another coat on in between, so you didn't have to watch me paint for 6 hours. Now I'm going to mess up a lot. Now you're going to see I go one way with this. I take the, oh, what color are you again? Tanzanite. Oh, my chair is like so loud. I apologize. And I go to make dots. Just going to make some dots. And then I didn't like that dot, so I'm going to wipe that dot off. And then I take some of the green off because when I say I let it dry, I mean that, I let it Kelly dry, which is 10 minutes and to scrub off, And then I wanted these circles, as you can see. And I'm going to put them in 3s because I like things in odd numbers and I'm an odd girl. So we just doing the 3s. There we go. I tell you, I sat and played and, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? That's too much like green and it's going to show, but you'll see. I prefer it actually at the end and you shall see. And you also, I'm showing you, like when you look at it, you think, oh, that looks like this, that looks like that. And it's really hard. It's really hard for this brain of mine. And now I'm taking my favorite bright pink. And I was going to go do some shapes. And because one of the things that almost every painter and book and everything that I've read says take geometric shapes and put them in there. And I'm like, what is a geometric shape? And then apparently a circle, square, triangle are, and I don't know what the heck, trying triangles. But yeah, so putting little dots for flowers, I'm just doodling like I'm on a piece of paper. Then I'm like, I don't like those. So I'm taking it off before it dries. Then I'm like, well, I don't understand why I did this necessarily, but then I'm like, well, let me put these dots here because why not? Why not? You'll see why not in a few minutes. And some things turn out like, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. But then other things I'm like, I don't understand why. Then I think it's a good idea to go in on these dots and to put pink and white and I don't know. Going back in with the green because I don't like that. I'm going to take that little part that I saved off and I'm going to blow it dry. And you can see here, I just did the green. And I didn't mix any of the white in it. Now I'm like, I think that might be a little bit too dark. So my second coat, I just go over with a little bit of the lighter green. And I did this on the wood because, which is one of my favorite things to paint on is wood. Because I'm going to hang it up and because I was going to do it in my art journal, which I probably will do the next one, but I wanted the first one that I do or that I did that I can hang up to remember, even though it's not going to be probably my favorite thing, or I know it isn't as of right now. I'm not hating on it. It's hard for you to see because yeah, it's still wet and some of the things look weird, but like I want to just be reminded that like, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's, it's your first. So then when I'm like on my 6th, I can be like, okay, or my 7th probably, because it'll be, that's how I'll do it, or 5th, hang that one up after I practice a little bit on paper to, in my art journal or what have you. I get obsessed with things. So I'm a very obsessive person. And I forget a lot of things. So, if you've written me and I've not responded, or, whatever it is, I told you I was going to do something and I forgot. Don't ever feel bad to write me and say, oh, I'm just writing to remind you, because I forget everything. My brain, not only because I'm getting older, but due to illnesses and due to medications, I look, I don't mean to sound disgusting, but sometimes I forget to pee during the day. And it's just because I forget if I peed. Like, it's that kind of thing. Or I forget to eat. Like, I just, Emily could tell me something, and 5 minutes later, I forget. It's really bad. Like I said, on top of being older, getting older. My husband turned 50 yesterday, and I just can't believe it, which means me keep saying that I'm 46 is just not appropriate anymore, because I'm not. I'm going to be 50 in December, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've known my husband since we were 13, I guess, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, so my brain's just a little, getting a little crazy, a little foggy. On top of fibro fog, on top of medication fog, on top of rheumatoid arthritis fog, on top, I can go on, and I'm sure you guys know. So now I'm doing these. I got off track. Sorry. And you can see, I don't know why I was doing them, but I wanted to do them, and they ended up, not necessarily being my favorite thing. And then I decided, because originally I had outlined it in the Tanzanite purple, and I thought, oh, that's going to be nice. I'm going to like it. And then I didn't. It wasn't dark enough. So then I took my black and licorice and did that, and I outlined it. And then I was like, okay, I like it better because they stand out. And I was happy with that decision. And that's a decision I probably will do again, because I love I'm very graphic kind of things. So this really, I liked it. It worked for me. And I'm being very loose about it. I'm not worrying if some of that purple shows underneath. I kind of dig it. It gives you a little shadow. But do you see how much better that is? I like it. I like it. Okay, and then I'm doing that. But as you'll see, that goes bye-bye. And then, I go around the black with the opposite side of my paintbrush with white, and I just kind of play. I do little spikes on that one, and then I just kind of do dots and spikes on the other ones. And I like it. I'm adding dots in those dots, which I don't ask me why. At the time, I thought, oh, let me do this. And then after, I'm like, girl, why? And then sometimes I did things, and I was halfway through, and I was like, eh. And then I was like, just commit, commit. And then I do it, and then I'm like, why did I do that? But easily erasable. It's acrylic paint. Works great. And using the multi-surface helps because it has a little sheen to it, so, kind of is easier. And then I'm just kind of going in and adding some graphics there, which I will tell you, I did like in those middle pink ones. I did like that graphic. I'm like, I really dig that. I don't know why I kept it. Looking at it now, I'm like, why didn't I do this or that? But it doesn't matter. Yeah. But I take it off, which now looking at it, I wish I wouldn't have. But if wishes were fishes, there'd be a billion. I don't know if that's how that goes, but that's my thing now. I don't know, what is it? If wishes were fishes, is that even a thing? Anyway. So now I'm going where I just put those pinks, and then I'm tracing it over, kind of adding that black graphic, which, let's be honest, did not come out as good as the other one, but still happy with it, still liking it. I really got to get Dave to fix this chair. Okay. All right. Now I'm adding dots all around, which you'll see it really does look cool when it's all done, at least to me. Kind of looks, it reminds me of studs. But like I said, I have so many great ideas doing this that I'm like, oh, next time, next time. And I'm just doing my thing, doing my thing. You might hear my cats fight in a minute. Hey, get out of there. No. Okay, so I let it dry. I look at it. And then I'm not liking it after it's dry. So I just use my hands and kind of, like, oh, what do I like? What don't I like? You can tell I changed my camera a little bit. Yeah, and then I'm like, I can't. I just can't. I don't like it. And I'm telling you, and I'm reminding, if you're doing a canvas, a wraparound canvas, or a wood piece, make sure you do the outsides to paint, especially if you're going to hang it. And I'm just showing you all those delicious insides, which came out. Oh, the marbling is everything. It really changed the excitement level I have for doing the abstracts like this. Now you can see, I explained to you, I'm going to take all that off and I'm going to paint it green again. And I'll be back when it's dry. And that's what I did. And I actually love it. I love the texture that me going over everything gave. And then I'm putting those pink there because I like the pink coming down from that one quote unquote flower. So I'm just kind of bringing it down like that. In hindsight, looking at it dry, I'm like, I don't know. But I'm leaving it. I'm going to leave it once I'm done with this. Because I'm not hating it. But maybe as I walk past it a few times, I'll be like, oh, okay, all right. But, not in love. I'm not in love. So, yeah. And I'm just putting some more of that bright pink, which is my favorite. And, oh, mosquitoes are out. And I'm just drawing it a little bit. And I'm going to actually add the same graphic that I did on the other one. Because I'm like, you know what? They're kind of like flowers in a way. You can look at it that way. But if I turn it a different way to hang it, I don't know what way I'm going to hang it. It just looks like it's, just more design. And I'm just going in and randomly, not even thinking about it, painting in these little boopies, as I like to call them. And I always paint out of the lids. I hardly ever paint, when I'm doing little things like that. I just like to paint out of the lids because then I'm not wasting, because I hate to waste. And if you would have saw some of the other things, I just kept scraping and putting back in the bottles because I hate it. I hate wasting. So you can see in between the flowers, there's like a space, and I'm like, well, I'm calling them flowers. They're just abstract, but I'm like, what am I going to put in there? What am I going to do? Now I'm just adding dots the same because I want that to be the theme going through. Was it a mistake? One time will tell. I don't know. If I keep looking at it and be like, ugh. But now I know. And I loved it around the black. See how vibrant that green is? That's how vibrant it is in life. So yeah, so it's pretty much adding a little bit more of those spikes just to bring it through, because I did dig the spikes, maybe not so much now, but I did. And yeah, so that is pretty much the extra stuff that I like doing to it. Like I said, I had a blast doing it, and I have so many ideas for the next time. So, we shall see. Okay, so I did this video, I recorded it the whole way and talked through it and everything, and it turned out so long. And honestly, I was just playing, like I wasn't doing the video to necessarily show. But anyway, as you can see, I put the word breathe here. Not thrilled with it. Might paint over it, or might lighten it with some white like gel pen or something. I wanted the word breathe here, but like I said, it didn't come out like I wanted it. But I'm not, not all is lost. The great thing with this kind of thing is you just put some gesso down. Let me show you. Because like I said, I'm not digging that. And that's probably too much gesso, but you know me. And I'm just going to do this. And you can see I have texture, like I did make texture on here, which I'll show you up close in a second. But let me just wipe this off because I have my paper there. I'm very with it. Oh, God, my finger's killing me. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll just paint it with green and then decide, probably leave it go. But let me show you up close. It is so windy here in Jersey, and the lights are just going in and out. So please, I'm sorry. But you can see I kind of made it like I love those little, like in here. The only thing I wish I would have done, which I'm going to do in the next one, and let me know down below if you want me to record it, I am going to add some metallics in here, like some gold and stuff. But, gold I think would have been pretty. Like this is the things I'm talking about. Look at that. Can you see? Look at that. Like that's from the sponge and all. Like I love this texture. And then you have that down here. And one of the things I love about playing, which is what I did, I mean, to make this, is that, do you see that? Oh, geez. Is that as I'm looking at this, and I'm not thrilled with it. I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm not like, ooh, girl, look at me go. But for me, this is a big accomplishment because I don't do this kind of thing. But when I look at this now, I'm like, oh, next time I'm going to put some gold or, silver, probably gold if it was these colors. And I'll do this differently and that differently. And I might use some of the dragon glaze on the black and like these kind of things to add. When you look at it from a different angle, you see something different, secretive kind of stuff, which is what I love. So besides this, which like I said wasn't real thrilled with, I'll just let that dry. And let me show you. I don't know how well you can see. Can you? Yeah, you can see that texture on the green. I love the texture. It just makes it look like it was plastered and it wasn't. Besides that, and I'll paint that green, I might not even put a word on here, honestly, because I don't know. After it was on there, even though I didn't care for it, and believe me, I wrote and tried to straighten it, and I still didn't do it right. I kind of like it without. So this is where I'm going to end. I want to thank you guys if you watched it this far. Again, I am so blessed. Please, please, please. I have some great giveaways coming up. One's going to be this week, so you never know when it's going to come in. And I'm really excited. So there's some really good stuff. So as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I love you guys. I'm going to really try to get back to comments in the next day or so because I got so many and so many questions. I've just been, a little struggling here and there, but I'm hoping to get back on my feet. And Angie Lupus Life, if you are watching this, I'm sending you much love. She had to have all her teeth pulled due to lupus. And I am positively sure it was not a pleasant experience, and healing is going to be not the greatest. So please send her all the love that you can. And if you look up Angie Lupus Life on YouTube, or if you know her, just go send her a little extra love. She could use it. And I love, just letting her know that, we're all thinking of her. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me know, please, down below what you guys think about this. And if you would like to see the next one that I do, because I'm going to be doing quite a few, because I really dig the marbling underneath, except, like I said, the only thing is I'm missing a little bit of metallic, but that's okay. So I'll do it in the next one. Bye, guys.